You know, the fact that this Metroid Prime remaster is selling so well, it really does make me wonder about Metroid Prime 1 and 2 of course, but other certain games I would like to see hit the Nintendo Switch. Games like The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, which according to Jeff Grubb recently, they still exist. Hey guys, it's Rob here, and welcome back to the RoboChan Show, where we take the gaming news format that channels like Spawnwave or Arlo do, add a dash of animation and some cool editing on top to bring you your gaming news, leaks, and rumors in a fresh new way. If you're new here and want to be kept up on everything gaming, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoy the video and dislike if not, and have that notification bell on so you know when I upload. In this video, we are going to talk about the massive sales and performance of Metroid Prime Remaster, what it means for other games on the Nintendo Switch, and overall why this is a great thing for ports coming to the Nintendo Switch, but equally why this could be a bad thing. I think there are two ways you can take this. One is really great for other games, and one is really bad for those very same games. So the Metroid Prime Remaster has finally come out, a game that I think a lot of people are really enjoying right now. Tell me in the comment section if you're enjoying this, because I'm gonna pick it up eventually, and hopefully I'll enjoy it too. I've never played any of the Metroid Prime games aside from a couple minutes here and there just for gameplay for the channel, so it's gonna be a good time. Now this game has been leaked, rumored, talked about, and it's been in the news for so long, it really did seem like it just wasn't gonna happen. But just like other Nintendo Switch rumors and leaks said, Metroid Prime 1 got a remaster and a huge upgrade over the original release. And not only was it revealed, but it was dropped the very same day, which really makes me wonder when it comes to different Nintendo Switch games, not just remasters and remakes, I wonder if that can happen to other games as well. I mean, just imagine we're watching the June Nintendo Direct and they say, hey, a new Donkey Kong game is ready to play for digital and the physical release is coming later. That probably won't happen, but just imagine. Which, speaking of the sales for this game, check out this headline right here. It reads, UK charts Metroid Prime Remaster bags franchise's fourth biggest box launch. And not only that, but the sales for Metroid Prime Remaster is roughly half of the original release of Metroid Prime. And keep in mind, the original Metroid Prime came out in 2002, 21 years ago. The fact that it's selling so well and it's this big for the Nintendo Switch is pretty big for other remasters coming to the Nintendo Switch. If a smaller and more niche series can do this well, what are other ones gonna do, like The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and Wind Waker? And keep in mind, this was just released a couple weeks ago. It wasn't like it was released a year ago. This isn't lifetime sales. There's still some time for it to gather sales. And I said the same thing about the Metroid Dread sales. Usually what we see in the UK is replicated throughout the world. So more than likely in other places, this probably did sell extremely well at the same time. So it's clear that the demand for this game is extremely high. And think about it, this game has so much hype and so much demand around it, it almost beat one of the biggest games of 2023, which is Hogwarts Legacy. I mean, that's pretty big, especially for a series that isn't the largest series. It's no Zelda or Mario. I think this is a clear sign that the install base for the Metroid and Metroid Prime series is growing and thriving right now, which is something that I think Nintendo is doing on purpose. That's why we've been getting so much of these Metroid Prime and Metroid games. I mean, Metroid Fusion is coming up. They want to grow the install base for that Metroid Prime 4 game, because I think that's going to be bigger than what people are thinking right now. I think it's a big game for Nintendo. Quite honestly, I think the Metroid and Metroid Prime series has the potential to be as big as Zelda and Mario. And keep in mind, during that week when we're talking about Hogwarts Legacy versus Metroid Prime Remaster, Metroid Prime Remaster was number 2 during that week. So it even beat other games on the list too, which is really cool. And keep in mind that this was for the physical sales of Metroid Prime Remaster. This wasn't even the digital, not the sales that they got when they dropped it during that February Nintendo Direct. Now we know that digital is something that's very huge for companies, and a lot of players do play digital only games. And overall the market for digital games is growing, so more than likely those digital sales are really high as well. So overall, it's doing big numbers for a game that was released in 2002. Now one thing you have to ask here is why? Why did this happen? Why is it selling so well? Is it just the demand for the game, or something more that has to do with the game specifically? Well, I think the part of the reason why this is selling so well is because of the quality of this remaster. I think if they did something like this with the Super Mario 35th Anniversary games, I think the games would have done better than they originally did. The quality and the surprise drop mixed in with the game it was probably generated a lot of hype around this game and made the game perform really well. Word of mouth also comes to mind when they're talking about sales and how well this thing did. I think think that was extremely powerful, and the only way word of mouth went so far as it did really quick was because they dropped it during that February Nintendo Direct. It really worked well for them. Another plus that this has over other consoles, or if Nintendo did something else other than the Switch 6 years ago, is the fact that we can take it on the go. That is a huge plus for a lot of people, and that's why a lot of people decided to buy it on the Nintendo Switch. I think if it didn't have that portability part, I think the sales may have been less. So all of these things I think worked all together to create something very, very special when it comes to bringing this old game back. And I know a lot of people like to say, oh, you just like playing old games, but the thing about this is that it's not just an old game. I mean, it is an old game, but if you look at the before and after, they clearly changed it drastically. Lighting, different models, different textures, sometimes things added in. It's just completely different, and it makes it for a whole new experience almost. Now, again, I haven't played it myself, but from what I can see from like Digital Foundry's videos and just people showing off gameplay and just the trailers that Nintendo put out, there's clearly a lot of work being done here, to the point where it's worth every penny bought if you enjoy this game or if you're curious on this. Like, it's gonna be my first time playing this, and I'm gonna be playing it in this state. That's pretty big for me personally because I've just never played these games. The fact that I can have this experience at this quality for the first time is pretty big, especially since Metroid Prime 4 is coming up, and people who maybe weren't interested in it but kind of said, you know what, that does kind of look cool, and they try it and they love it, well, now they have to look forward to Metroid Prime 4, which helps the sales for Metroid Prime 4. From a business side, it's really good for Nintendo, and just from a player side, it's really good, and not only that, but game preservation as well. We know that a lot of times these games can cost a lot to buy. Sometimes your hardware doesn't work. In fact, recently, the Nintendo Wii U was said to brick if you don't use it for a long time. So there's one thing out the window when people say, well, just buy a Wii U. Well, what if that Wii U was sitting in the store for a very long time and the owner didn't even pop it in and test to see if it works, and it doesn't work, and you just wasted like $100? I mean, the fact that Wii U's alone are actually bricking means that a lot of games that you would have just bought a Wii U, when people say, oh, just buy a Wii U, now that option isn't exactly good now, because now you don't know if those Wii U's are gonna work if you don't play it for a while, and then you play it up again and you want to play some, I don't know, Wind Waker, and then you can't play it because it's bricked because you haven't been playing it for like 1 or 2 months. So bringing these games on the Nintendo Switch is pretty big. I don't know, rant over. I always get kind of a little frustrated when people say, well, I could just play it on the Wii U or something like that. And I'm like, there are a whole slew of problems that you go through. Like, people who are only emulating Metroid Prime Remaster, you can't have the same graphical quality that you have on, well, I mean, you can emulate the Metroid Prime Remaster, you could do that, but if you don't know how to do that, buying it for $40 is the easier option. And in fact, I would say, even for the people who say, oh, just emulate it or something like that, well, now you have this better version with better models that you can emulate on your PC, so now even you have an upgraded version. It's a win-win. Now, I do have to say, sometimes these remasters and so on don't really look too good. They could have been better. Think about the Super Mario 35th Anniversary Collection. That should have been way better than it was. And this does have to do with how well the Metroid Prime Remaster is selling, because this is obviously going to be pretty huge for Nintendo, because now it's proof that Nintendo can remaster these games, and they can sell really well, and you don't have to wait. You can drop them right at the Nintendo Direct. And on one side, you could say that this is fantastic. That means we can get other remasters and remakes. Honestly, it does seem like a remake to me because it looks so different from the original, but they call it a remaster, so let's keep it at that. But this means Nintendo could get the idea of, oh wait, we can do even more remasters and make a lot of money. And there are kind of some things that are bad about this. On one side, this could be Nintendo bringing back older games, but not in the best way, like the Super Mario 35th Anniversary, and that's my fear, that they'll make less than desirable ports and remasters. And that's kind of what the Jeff Grubb leak said, is that Metroid Prime 2 and 3 aren't going to receive as drastic changes as Metroid Prime Remaster, and that's kind of my fear right here. But this isn't just a one-sided coin, it's a double-sided coin. The other side is the opposite of this. This could send a signal to Nintendo that says, if you put enough work into these and make them really great, they're going to sell really well and grow the install base and really help your company out. When it comes to marketing and lead up to bigger games, I should say. Because let's be honest, Nintendo is doing just fine. I mean, the Nintendo Switch will probably be, at the very least, the second best-selling console of all time, if not the first. So I hope Nintendo doesn't take this as a way to just exclusively put bad ports and remasters on the Nintendo Switch like we have been getting here and there. There are some remasters that I just don't agree with, and there are some that have big problems. But yeah, overall, I think this is just fantastic that it's selling well. The sales are doing big numbers, and it's selling really well, and it's going to be interesting to see those physical sales, or not physical sales, digital sales, if we ever do get those numbers. And if we do, I will definitely be talking about it. Because if Nintendo intends on doing better remasters because it sells so well and they do look at it in that light, I can name a lot of different ones that could receive the same upgrades as Metroid Prime. Like, what games would you guys like to see receive the same kind of updates as Metroid Prime Remaster? I can already think of a couple. Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, although Wind Waker does hold up pretty well, I think just making it even better is, well, better. Pokemon Colosseum, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, honestly, Star Fox Adventures, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to play that game again. Donkey Kong 64, like what if they took Nintendo 64 games and did that too? That would be fantastic. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, like there are so many games that could receive the same kind of updates that Metroid Prime Remaster got, that would transform them into whole new games and make the experience a hell of a lot enjoyable. Now don't get me wrong, I do love kind of the low poly and low graphics of the yesteryears, I guess you would call it, but I mean, getting a fresh coat of paint is always a nice thing. But overall, guys, interesting stuff for the sales, and really does speak volumes of the demand in this game, and I hope you guys are enjoying it because I will be joining you very soon. Honestly, if the channel does well enough, I'll have enough revenue to buy one and do a review on it, so hopefully this video does well just like the last one, but if it doesn't, what you gonna do? But that's all for today, guys. Make sure you guys tell me your thoughts on this in the comment section below, and if you're enjoying the Metroid Prime Remaster, have you played it? Are you gonna play it? Are you gonna eventually buy it like me? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below, and how well do you think this is gonna sell by the end? Thanks for watching, guys. It was a pretty long one. I kind of went on a little ramble, but I think I covered some interesting topics, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. And if not, on your way out, make sure you subscribe for more videos and also have that notification bell on. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, there is my Patreon and Twitter account in the pinned comment if you're interested in those. Oh, and also have this donut if you're still sticking around for me rambling. Thanks for watching, guys, and remember, stay safe, stay charged, and have a good one.